is going on, everybody? Happy New Year to you all. It is the last day of the year, and I'm so excited to get into 2024 because there's going to be so many things coming on the pipe, and everyone is coming out with their top 10 lists, and these were the favorite games that I played over the last year or so. And of course, I gotta throw my hat into the ring. Of course, I gotta do that. And so I'm going to be talking about all of the top 10 favorite games that I played over 2024. But before I actually start that list, I'm gonna talk about a couple of honorable mentions. And as you're seeing, the first honorable mention I have here is Monster Hunter Rise and Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak. Now, if you've been following me for a while, I have said that this game is one of my favorite games of all time. In fact, the video that is playing behind me is actually the video that I made called Why I Love Monster Hunter Rise and Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak. It's that game that really got me into more of the games industry. In fact, I say it in the video that without Monster Hunter Rise and Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak, I would not have this YouTube channel. It has definitely been an inspiration to me. It's definitely been something that's kind of catapulted me into what I do now. And so all of this would not be possible without Monster Hunter Rise and Monster Hunter Sunbreak. It's been a fun experience playing the game, but I dropped off this summer. I did not play a whole lot of it after the support stopped after Sunbreak, and there was just so many things that were coming down the pipe, and just doing stuff for this YouTube channel, it's been so much fun. But I'll go back to it eventually. And of course, with the announcement of Monster Hunter Wilds, I need to get my fix into this Monster Hunter world. So I definitely want to play it a little bit more going into 2024. I'm not going to make any content related to Monster Hunter Rise and Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak and Monster Hunter in general, just because that's not really the vibe that I'm going for here on this channel. But I'll just keep that in the back pocket. It'll probably be one of those games that I play. Oh, you can see me behind me. Look at that. It's probably one of those games that I'll play every now and again, just to, if I have a few moments, and I'll just jump in and play it. But yeah, Monster Hunter Rise, Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak, definitely one of my favorite games of all time. But it gets an honorable mention on this list. The next game I have up in the honorable mentions list is Octopath Traveler 2. This one came out in early of 2023. It came out in February, and I was so hyped to be able to play it. Little did I know how much more was coming down the pipe later on in the year, so I didn't get a chance to really finish it. In fact, I'm actually still playing it right now, and the only gameplay that you're going to be seeing, the only footage I really got was this boss fight. But you know, if you played Octopath Traveler, that the art for this is amazing. Square Enix really did a good job of that 2.5D HD style. I love it so much, and they did improve quite a bit overall from the first game. In fact, the character is a little bit taller. There's some new systems that they put in, like the latent abilities, the latent powers that you get in. There's also characters acknowledge each other. Like, you have all 8 characters, and one of my big gripes over the first game is that they didn't really acknowledge each other and each other's stories. Apart from some party banter that you see, you press the start button, you get some party banter between your party member and the party member that is doing the main story at that current time. But what they've done to expand that is, first of all, characters acknowledge each other in battle, where you'll have some of these characters, they'll do a move and they're like, good job, so and so. Like, I think what I have here, I have Particio and Hikari and Agnia and Timonos. Yeah, and I'm actually playing a segment from Hikari's story, and if they do anything, they will actually acknowledge each other in combat, which I really enjoy, the fact that they know that they exist as a party. And what's also really cool that you get to experience is this thing called cross paths, where 2 characters will have a story beat. It's kind of a side quest apart from their main stories, but it's really cool to see certain characters interact with each other where otherwise they wouldn't. So I think that was a really cool idea, and so they definitely improved some of the combat and some of the quality of life features. I dropped this one just because it's such a long RPG, and RPGs tend to be long as well. And the RPG that I'm definitely going to talk about, which was number 1 at the beginning of this, is something that I picked up again, but I've gone back to it and I'm doing it again. And so yeah, putting it on the list as an honorable mention. Now on to the actual list. At number 10, I've got Death Must Die, and this came out on November the 14th, so pretty recently, and it's by Realm Archive, and it's in the same vein of your Vampire Survivors. It has the same air. As you can see, you're doing a bunch of auto scrolling, auto battling. It's got roleplay elements, but what sets this game apart, to me at least, is the fact that you have these gods that show up in kind of the Hades style. I've been kind of itching for a game that has that style, and there are characters that definitely take inspiration from Hades. I don't know if it'll show up in this footage, but there is a character that essentially is Ares, the god of war, and so it takes the inspiration from that. But I think this is unique. I love the character designs. It's really cool that you actually have multiple characters that have specific classes. So instead of where Hades has different weapons, you're actually choosing different characters that actually interact with each other when you go back into your hub world, and it increases the types of weapons that you have, and also just the conversations you have. And this is really, and they all have their distinct personalities. I'm actually playing with I think his name is Scotty the warrior. I believe this one is the warrior type, which I got just recently. I was playing this during Christmas time, so you may see some of these skeletons. I think they have Christmas hats on, so that's pretty cool. So I put this at number 10. I was trying to figure out which one. There it is. There's the god of war there, but I was trying to figure out what game I wanted to put at top 10, because I was thinking about this game. I was also thinking about Ending Tao, but that was more of a demo, and this game is a full release. I say full release, but it's actually in early access right now, so it's not even at a 1.0 at the time of this recording. And so I really put this game over the other roguelite and vampire survival like games that I was playing over the course of this year, just because I just like the art style. I think Hades has a profound influence on me, so I really enjoy the fact that you have these guys that come in and you choose their particular boons. They're not called boons, they're called blessings. So it has all of those vibes. So I think because of how much Hades has influenced me, this definitely takes the number 10 spot. Hey, I'm over here now, back with number 9. Look at that handsome gentleman right there. What is he doing? He's playing Bzzzt, which is my number 9 spot, like I just said, by Co.dl. This was a fun game that also released. Fun fact, the developer of this game is actually in the Lucid Discord, and I did not even know about this game until he talked about it in the Discord, and I was like, oh, I need to check out this game, and I am so glad I did, because this is a beautiful looking game. I don't know how long it took him to make this game, but I am super impressed. I played the demo of this, and as you can see, I played this on for the channel, and it was a fantastic game. It's a precision platformer. You get some upgrades along the way, but the idea is that you're just going on as a robot. You're using the environment. You're getting these nuts and you're getting these bolts, and it's all kinds of fun. I love it, man. It is such a fun game to play. I had a blast playing this one. Yeah. Bzzzt. It's like I can't not just say just bzzzt every time I say it, because it's a sound like you get electrocuted. That's the sound that you make when you get electrocuted. It was a lot of fun to play. So check out this game and check out the video that I made on it too if you want to see more about Bzzzt. Now in number 8, I've got Gravity Circuit. I was 100% inspired to play this game. I had seen a little bit about this game. This came out earlier this year, and I didn't really pick it up until I watched this video, and I'm going to link it, and I'll probably put an image of what that video is about in this video as you're watching it. I forget the name of the YouTuber that talked about it, but it definitely convinced me to pick up Gravity Circuit. And at the time that I picked it up, it just so happened to be on sale, and I'm so glad I played this game. Now, I am not actually the biggest fan of Mega Man style games. I think this game takes inspiration from Mega Man Zero or Mega Man X, a little bit of that, but I wasn't a big fan of these types of games. I played them a little bit in my childhood, but didn't really get into them, but I have an appreciation for them. But Gravity Circuit, it really takes that format and runs with it super hard. It's so good. It's very accurately depicts the style that Mega Man was going for. I love the grappling hook. I love the idea that you're not shooting a blaster, you're actually just using your fist, and the abilities that you get from the bosses that you beat are super fun. I think one of my favorites was there's this pile driver. You basically take them and you dunk them, essentially like that, or you do an uppercut or you do a beam. It's a lot of fun. It actually gets pretty hard towards the end. In fact, like most Mega Man games, you have a boss rush at the end, and this one really got me towards the end. I was like, I don't really know if I can finish this game, but I'm almost at the end. I'm almost finished it. I think by the time this comes out, I will have finished this game, and it was a fun game. So Gravity Circuit, number 8 game for me. So check out Gravity Circuit if you have not already. And at number 7, I've got Ori in the Blind Forest, another game that I was heavily inspired to play. Shout out to VCD if he is watching this, because I was 100% convinced to play Ori in the Blind Forest. It even made me start a whole Metroidvania list that I needed to try out on the Switch, and this was definitely at the top of that list, and I love this game. It is incredibly beautiful. I love the story. I love just the aesthetic that you're going for. I don't know how I initially felt about the whole you create your own save point by doing the whole Soul Link system, but I love the abilities. I love the dashes. I love the idea of being able to use enemies shots like you're seeing in the footage here to be able to jump off of them, and I absolutely adored it. I loved Ori in the Blind Forest, and I need to play Ori Will in the Wisp, because I heard that was much better than this game, and I know that Moon Studios is coming out with another game that was actually teased in the Game Awards. So yeah, Ori in the Blind Forest, fantastic game. If you haven't played Ori in the Blind Forest, what are you doing? Check it out right now. Play Ori in the Blind Forest. Hey, I'm back over here now. Number 6, I got In Stars in Time. I absolutely adore this game, and if you heard from my review, there's a lot of beauty, there's a lot of charm related to this game, and there's a lot of depth and a lot of depth. I mean, a lot of depth because it's a time looping RPG involving just repeating things over and over and over. Yeah, it made me think that this may have been some sort of like sleeper rogue-like or sleeper roguelite. I have no idea. I mean, it's definitely not that. It's definitely more of an RPG, but I absolutely adored everything about this game. I love the story. I love the characters. I love the idea of being able to synergize with actual rock, paper, scissors. So I thought that was a great idea. Yeah, I think I was still, even after I finished my review of this game, I was still playing it. I still wanted to jump in and see how much further I can get, how many loops I needed to go to be able to just finish everything that I needed to go, how many conversations that I needed to have, and just stay immersed in this beautifully crafted world. I loved In Stars in Time. I think you're gonna love it too. I wish it came out early in the year so we can get a little bit more attention, because I didn't really get the recognition that it deserved, especially during the Game Awards. So I think Insert Disc 5 definitely needed a lot more recognition than I think what it got. So I think In Stars in Time is a great game that everyone should pick up. Has all the vibes you're looking for. I love this like Earthbound NES 2D style vibe, so I love it. Yeah, In Stars in Time, number 6 for me. And now we're at the top 5, and if you know me, this is not a surprise. The Messenger sitting at number 5. I actually started playing this game when I was looking up things for Sea of Stars, which I'm gonna spoilers. Sea of Stars is my number 1. I know, shocking. I know for sure, but The Messenger is a fantastic game. If you know, you know. There's a lot going on with this. It actually is in my backlog because I haven't finished it all the way through, so I don't know it all the way fully. But I understand the nods that they put in, and I even talked about that in my Sea of Stars 100% completion just discussion / review that I thought. Yeah, there's the nods there, and the fact that they have a shared universe. Of course, that Sabotage Studio would put in the obvious nods to The Messenger into Sea of Stars, because I think Sea of Stars takes place well before The Messenger, or is it? Yes, I think it's well before The Messenger even starts, or vice versa. I'm forgetting. I'm blanking on the term now. But The Messenger is a fantastic game. I don't think it's a Metroidvania. I've had this discussion before with other people. I don't think it is a Metroidvania. It's more of like a Ninja Gaiden-esque type of game, if you don't know what The Messenger is at all, which I 100% encourage you to play the messenger for yourself to see how amazing this game is, because there's a lot of great humor, there's a lot of funny dialogue. I think the combat is amazing. I think the exploration is amazing. The stuff that you get into, I don't want to get into too many crazy spoilers with this game if you haven't played it already, but like I said, if you know, and the messenger is great. Definitely well enough to take number 5 for me. And coming in at number 4, I've got Cocoon. What did I say? I said that Cocoon was going to be some sort of a sleeper hit, and lo and behold, it wins Best Debut Indie at the Game Awards. There are so many things that people said about Cocoon. I thought it's a fantastic game. It's not even that long. You can kind of finish this in about maybe like 4 to 5, maybe 6 hours, depending on this. In fact, one of the things when I was looking up people's reviews on this, there's something that I missed. There's actually like a secret ending that you can get. I'm not even sure how to get it, but you can look it up on YouTube to see what kind of secret ending there is. I had no idea until I watched this review. I think it was Gaming with Joy talked about this, and I was like, I had no idea there's a secret ending to this game. I just thought it was just something that you just pick up, you play, you do the puzzles, bada bing, bada boom, you finish the game. I thought that was it, but apparently there's far more to this game than I thought. But I thought it was beautiful. I love there's no dialogue in this game at all, but it's all like visual storytelling. There's musical beats throughout. I love the fact that you are carrying these worlds on your back and you go in and out in some sort of Inception-esque manner. I loved everything about this game. I am so glad that people took to Cocoon, and I'm so glad that it came out in the state that it did, and it ran well on the Switch. So Cocoon takes number 4 for me. And just like with Cocoon, Worldless has visual storytelling, and it comes in at number 3 for me. Now, I like Cocoon and Worldless the same because they have that visual storytelling, but the reason why that Worldless takes over the spot over Cocoon is the fact that it has combat. I mean, it is what it is. I have an animal brain. I know what I like, and I like to do action. I like action, and I like when things go punchy. I like punching things. I like hitting things with a sword. So, I mean, call it what it is, but it's my base animal brain instinct. I like combat. I like action. I am an enjoyer of that, and so that's why Worldless takes top spot over Cocoon. But it doesn't mean that, I mean, it's only better in my brain because of the fact that it's Cocoon. But Worldless has that insane and incredible visual storytelling, no dialogue whatsoever. Everything is present. I mean, you see bits of dialogue. It's just text. There's not a whole lot of that. And even when I said this in my review, I'd rather it not even be there to keep it entirely wordless and not in this wordless voice. So I love the idea that you're switching between these two light and dark entities, and you're using their abilities to combat the various enemies that you face. I love the idea that you have exploration throughout. So it kind of puts it in the Metroidvania camp where you are somewhat ability gated and you're somewhat have some backtracking and some exploration. So I don't know if I would really put it in the Metroidvania category, so to speak. I don't know. I'm not like the arbiter of the definitions of the Metroidvania. I think my ideas of what Metroidvanias are not like, you know, they're not very stringent as some people are. So, but definitely check out Worldless. Definitely check out my review of Worldless to even just check out what my thoughts are and more comprehensive thoughts are, and even play it for yourself for sure. There's a demo available on Steam, but you can pick it up on the Switch or PC or any other platforms that it's available on. Coming in at number 2, it's Celeste. I cannot believe it took me so long to play this game, but I'm so glad that I did. When I was researching stuff for Lucid, because Lucid is the world's first Celesteoidvania, I wanted to know what the Celeste part is like, and I've heard over the years that Celeste is an incredible game, and I just never picked it up. But now I picked it up and I played it, and I understand why this game was so incredible. Challenging as all get out. It is probably one of the hardest games I've ever played this year, but man, is it so worth it. I loved everything about this game. I loved the exploration. I loved the music. In fact, the music even got me inspired to create my own style of music. So shout out to Lena Rain for the music composed in Celeste, because it is one of the best video game soundtracks that I've ever heard this year. The dark, gritty, atmospheric tones with the pianos and the basses and all of what is going on in Celeste is everything that I'm looking for, everything that I need. I absolutely adored Celeste, and I believe it. I understand the hype around Celeste now, and I'm so glad that I was able to experience it for myself, and that's why it sits at number 2 for me. But number 1 is going to be pretty obvious, and you'll see here in just a second. Would you believe it? Sea of Stars is number 1 on the list. I've mentioned this multiple times. Sea of Stars is my game of the year. I don't know why Sea of Stars hit me so hard this year, but it did. Man, it just hit me so good that I made several videos on it, including a spoiler-free and a spoiler-filled video of full 100% completion. I have not done that with any of the games that I've reviewed this year. So there's something about what Sabotage did with Sea of Stars that just struck a chord for me. I'm a big fan of RPGs, JRPGs in general, and this style of game, just how colorful it is, the story's not even that deep. Like, I know I'm looking at this game with a bit of rose-tinted glasses, but even with some of the flaws that I've heard, I still can just take those and just throw them away and be like, this still is my game of the year. I love this game, warts and all. I thought it was a fantastic experience, even going through it for 100%. I mean, the conches are a thing. I'm like, that was a lot. That was a lot to take in and a lot to take care of. But I wish I had done that at the beginning of the game, knowing what I know now. But Sea of Stars is an incredible game from top to bottom. I love the characters. Garl, one of the best characters in the entire game. Again, I'm not going to spoil it for you. Watch my spoiler-filled video if you want to know why Garl is one of the best characters in the game. I love the main characters, Valera and Zale, and all the other party members that are involved with Sea of Stars. I think there's a beauty and joy that Sabotage put in with Sea of Stars, and just taking the homages of Mario RPG and Chrono Trigger and all the other JRPGs of old that have come before it, and taking that and putting their own spin on it, and just making a classic game that won Indie Game of the Year. I knew that was going to happen. I called it from the get-go. I think a lot of people called Sea of Stars getting Indie Game of the Year, and so many people are putting Sea of Stars on their Game of the Year's list because of how much of an impact it has. But I do want to address one thing regarding this game, and it has nothing to do with the game itself. It just involves one of the characters in the game. And if you know, you've been following the controversy for a while now. Gerard, the completionist, is under some hot water with the whole charity scandal, the whole charity scam, and the devs at Sabotage Studio decided to remove his character at the time of this recording. If he shows up in this footage, he won't be in later patches, because this is old footage, by the way. So, but his character will be removed from Sea of Stars because the devs decided they did not want to be associated with all of the controversies surrounding Gerard. And you can see, there he is right there. So he was no longer in the game at the time of this recording. He is no longer in the game, and the devs have seen fit to patch him out. They are patching him out in the PC versions, and I think the console version will be patched out at a later date. So yeah, because of all the things, I'm not going to talk about the whole issues with that, but you can look it up for yourself. And if you've been in tune with that, you know exactly what's going on with Gerard the Completionist. But that's all I'm going to say on it, just because I don't want to just bog this video down with that kind of controversy. But going back to Sea of Stars, I think it is an incredible game. The story, the world building, the characters, the fact that you are engaged in the combat so heavily, you're not just sitting there and just button mashing. You're actively engaged in the combat with the active time battle system. The idea that you're having to manage your party members, but they also have shared XP, so you don't have to worry about managing them too much. The fact that you do not have to worry about random encounters, which is what Octopath Traveler 2 has an issue with, where you're having to deal with random encounters a lot of. And I'm glad that Sea of Stars and games like it. Sea of Stars isn't the only one that does this, but because I played Sea of Stars, it doesn't have to deal with the fact that you are dealing with random encounters like that. So I very much enjoyed this game. 10 out of 10 for me, 11 out of 10, 12 out of 10, game of the year, indie game of the year, all the things that I've said, everything about this game. I loved it. So yeah, that's my list. That's all of my top 10, including my honorable mentions. Let me know, are there games that you put in your top 10 that you would want to share with me, or any of the games that I mentioned in my top 10 in your top 10? I would love to know. I would love to have a discussion down in the comments, and I'm so excited for what's coming down the pipe in 2024. I'm so pumped. I've been planning and jotting down things that I got going on in this channel. I'm so excited, and I want to wish you guys a happy new year. Hope you stay safe during the rest of this new year, and I hope we have a great start to 2024. Like, share, subscribe to the channel. Excited for more things coming out. My name is Chike, and I will see you on the next one. Happy New Year. Peace.